natural. I need this on the Snapchats.
Yes, you are almost done with this wave.
Watch it, more there.
Wave 2.
He's got a cloaker. Smackdown. Nice, huh?
Cleanups are remain. Renfred will see they are properly recycled. Commercial transactions are so tedious. Let us return to the blood and violence. And here is the pod. You do know how to use this, yes? Wave 3.
Easy! Bang, you're dead. Damn, look out! Oh shit! Nailed him! Yeah. Careful, guys. Smackdown! Watch it, more Zeds! Someone kill that siren! I'm a natural.
What a colossal waste of resources. Hurry up and die! My generosity in activating the pod will not last forever, Piggy. Hurry!
That's good. Oh.
Using violence to solve your problems. How deliciously primitive.
Found a weapon.
in it.
I'm sweating like a handsome pig here.
No Zeds penetrated the perimeter. I am surprised and a bit sick. Your success is revolting.
Cover your ears! Cypher! Easy!
You won with near perfect form. Even a fool gets lucky on occasion.
Thank you, me. I found ammo. Got ammo here.
Yeah, don't buy armor. It makes my job much easier.
Who needs well-lit combat areas anyway?
Wait, fine.
You people disgust me. Your incessant gobbling of money. I will exterminate you.
It's here somewhere.
Time for a new experiment. Let's try gas.
You realize the whole point of this is to kill you, don't you? Why do you fight the inevitable?
Down easy.
Wave 6.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Need ammo?
Ended up muting my mic. Well, mic was mute the whole time, but
Where did they go?
yeah, I was talking about what happened at work the other day. It ceases to not make sense to me. And I'm always the ideal person that people always try to, like, get mad at and shit. That's what makes it kind of weird. I think the honest truth is, I think a lot of people have way too much fantasy going on in their fucking head.
Cleanups are made. Renfred will see they are properly recycled.
Like, I noticed that. I think a lot of people have a fantasy about who they like the most, and they see someone that, like, identifies that fantasy, they, like, obsess about that shit. And I'm thinking it's coming true for a lot of people in that, like, I don't do that shit anymore. Like, I stopped doing the whole fantasizing thing, you know, to that extent a long time ago now. And I know a lot of people still kind of do that stuff to extremes, where they'll, like, picture them being with someone and they'll, like, live out their, like, fake reality in their head. And they'll, like, sit there and get upset when that fake reality gets busted. It's kind of fucked up. But it's the honest truth. It's like, you live a life that's not fucking real in your head. And then you want people to sit there and live that fantasy with you without even noticing that they're living it. What I'm trying to say is, like, people seem to do that quite a bit when it comes down to, like, how you, like, live like a child and that. Your fantasy is your world. But the real world is something that you still look at, that you still want to get close to and that. Because it's fun, because it's new.
That's gotta sting.
And, like, it becomes kind of, I don't know, interesting.
One of those moody fledge towns.
I will make sure the next wave is more challenging.
Yeah, this gun is amazing.
You fought with near
It does
perfect
bullet damage and it does explosive damage with it. But yeah, like, the more I look at, like, the psychologics of people and that, they all live in a fantasy world and they're so used to that world. And they literally devote themselves to that world. And it kind of gets kind of freaky, though, because they don't even know that they're in the real world. Like, every time their real world gets poked, every time their actual fantasy world, what they think the real world is, gets poked at their bubble, they freak the fuck out. Because the fantasy stops being fantasy. Like, when I tell someone that, it's like, why do you keep telling people that they can't say things? Like, well, people shouldn't say specific things. I'm like, who the fuck are you to say anything about what anybody says? Because you say stupid shit. And then they get mad because you're poking at their reality. You're poking at their little fake reality. Because inside their minds, they truly believe they're saying something that's 100% right. But factually, it's not. Because in the real world, everybody has their basic opinions about life itself. So it's not all continuously the same, other than paying bills or, you know, watching the same TV programs and shit. Like, stuff like that can be similar, but most times reality is pretty different for everybody. But that's an act of respect that enables us to sit there and respect each other's opinions. But when that gets functionally poked at, you have to learn how to respond to it in a peaceful way, instead of being a fucking total twat waffle about it. And I think a lot of people don't understand that you have to be that way in the real world. Yeah, I have a fantasy world in my head. It's me not fucking being with a bunch of fucktard, liberal tard faces that sit there and women ruin their faces by piercing themselves with 1,000 piercings, tattooing themselves from head to fucking toe, and say it's attractive because a bunch of simps fucking like it. Yeah, I want to live in a world where I could sit there and walk down the street and not, you know, and not see some fucking woman wearing barely anything but a tank top and short shorts, showing off her ass and wearing no bra with her boobs all popping out. Yeah, I want to live in a world with fucking decency, not a piece of shit world that everyone thinks they're a fucking whore, and all the dudes want to be on steroids before they even hit the age of fucking 18, and you see that shit. And I'm just like, you're not growing into life slowly. You're going to grow life too quickly. And then when you get old enough, you're going to sit there and be like, I don't know what to do with my life. You either go into a bottle of alcohol, go on drugs, or you start praying and start getting new things to do. You either walk down the road of righteousness or wickedness. That's just how life is. And people can say whatever they want to say. They think going to the bottle at 21 is the practical thing that people do. I say, when you say stuff like that, you're literally just telling yourself you're a fucking idiot. And that's the sort of life a lot of people fucking live. They think it's a certain age to do all this shit. I said, what do you mean certain age to do stuff? Like, what are you talking about? It's like you have to be a certain age to do things, and that because it's law. That's just it. It's not a time zone to get married. Some people get married in their fucking 40s and shit. And, at least men do. Women normally don't get married in their fucking 40s. They normally settle down if they have a man. Or they settle down with cats and shit, and they become tormented to their own stupid fucking reality that they made up in their head. No matter how many people say whatever they want to say about, you know, when women bitch about men 24/7, it's because you don't have one. You're trying to figure out, well, is it my fault? Yeah, it's your fault. Your pride is what's making you not have a fucking man. Like, every woman that I listen to, it's like, if you want to be with a man, stop bashing men. Stop saying men are not emotional. Men are very emotional over the women that they fucking love. Don't ever debate with that shit. Men go to war for their families while you sit there eating your fucking yogurt and crying about that you can't have a real man with big, strong arms and have a big, hard dong because you sit there and you fantasize about that shit, but you never try to become the woman that gets that man. You see how it all comes into tuition? You become the woman that gets those kind of men, you're going to get that kind of man. These people think they have to sacrifice their fucking lives to do stuff. No, when you do stupid shit like drink and party and have a bunch of dicks in you, yeah, a lot of fucking men don't like that shit. More or less likely, most men will just use you for the pussy that you have. Just like women use guys for their fucking dongs. It's just how it is. But if you take that back and you stop being that type of person, you're going to get more luxury. That's what it says in the Bible. It stands true today. When you do these stupid things, these evil things, you get caught up with the bullshit. Your bullshit is anxiety, depression, and all this fucking shit. And that's the reason why. And they want to change what has been in place by God. This is what these feminist women want to do. And these fucking retarded men that agree with this bullshit. You're trying to change what God put in place. How the fuck are you going to change what a creator put in place, you fucking morons? No one's going to agree with you because it doesn't make sense. Just think about it like this. If God created man and created woman, he created them as what? Not as equals, as one. You're one half of what God created man and woman for. If you're a man, you're a half. If you're a woman, you're a half. When you find the man that you want to be with, more or less like that God designed you to be with, you become a whole. This is the reason why we have different ways of doing things. Why women are not supposed to fight and protect like men are. Why men are not supposed to be caring and loving all the damn time, because they have to make difficult decisions. We have to make protective decisions to either get rid of the thing that's trying to harm us or our families, or to figure out ways to protect things that are good to us. This is the reason why we always have these kind of selective problems in life. We always choose the wrong thing. There's people out there that literally believe in the stupidest fucking shit.
No more opening for you.
And they look confused as fuck, too.
Hurry up and talk!
And that's what always seems to happen with a lot of people. You get confused about life, and then you sit there and complain about that needs to be changed. No, you're just fucking stupid, and you don't know what it is that needs to be to begin with, because you just don't know.
Splatter Zed! Get in! Get in!
Fred, marks the date. They actually did a good job for a change.
Like, this is why a shit ton of people have issues. You guys are fighting the war that's literally committing you into sin. And then you bitch about it because you still don't know what the fuck's going on. Of course you don't. Because you're fucking stupid. You learn from morons that tell you how to be. And these morons are not on your best interests. They really don't care about you. I don't say follow me, I say follow the word of God first before you follow someone else. If that person implicates the word of God and is trying to be, say, righteous with it, because a lot of people are faulty righteous with it, then you know that they're probably going to tell you how to be a good person. But it's all active of your own device. When you sit there and you start to go through this like line of thinking, and you're like, why is life like this? Because the devil doesn't want you to see what is true. He never did. He doesn't like you. He never did like you. When people say, oh, they're demonistic people now, every time I see anyone that has a demon personality, they think that they're psychics or tarot card readers, all that fucking retarded demonic shit. You look at the personalities. First thing that comes to me is confusion. They're stupid confused. So when they're confused, they go to the devil for answers. They use tarot cards to try to figure out the future. Lucifer doesn't know the future. He doesn't have the power of knowing the future. He doesn't know shit. He only knows what God gives him. And yes, God still has control over Lucifer. Lucifer can't do anything more than what God gives him. This is where people don't understand. God is in control of every single thing that happens in life. But it's our choice to choose to be righteous or not. Because he wants us to love us. He wants to love us. And love is not a commanding thing. Love is a graceful thing. So when you give yourself to someone, say like a woman gives himself to a man, and a man gives himself to a woman, they are choosing to love each other. And that love binds them to marriage. Marriage itself is not the important thing. You're celebrated for the love that you have. The love starts when you start to see that person, when your eyes connect, when you're just like, wow, she's beautiful, and the girl's like, wow, he's attractive. Soon as you start thinking that person's probably someone you should talk to. And then obviously it comes down to a lot of different things. That if there's too many people, say like if I look at, there's been multiple women that I've seen at where I work at that are gorgeous, very attractive women. Not the ones that I work with. They're okay. They're average. But the ones I see that come in, they're super attractive. And they always keep their eyes open. I always say, when I come in, a couple of them will look at me with those eyes of just saying that they want something. And I see it all the time. It's a little bit of a blank expression. So put it through this. Okay, so a lady comes in. And she knows one of my coworkers. I guess they're like friends or whatever. She's really hot. He likes her because she is hot. He's trying to get in her pants, but unfortunately he can't because, he's not. She doesn't seem like she's like that. She came inside and she caught my eye. He was talking to her and she looked at me for like a couple of seconds. No facial features, just a slight tilt of the eyes, basically telling me that she has attraction towards me. And he's all boasting, trying to do all this flirtatious, stupid shit. I'm like, bro, you're not going to get an attractive woman to like you that's morally righteous because you're an idiot. She's going to look at you and like, dude, you're fucking fat. You're 200, you're fat. Not to make fun of this dude, but the common sense is, women attract to masculinity. It doesn't matter what you fucking think of it. If you think that you're masculine because you want to assume, it's all about the actions. I think anyone that looks at a man that has strong hands, strong arms. He's got a physique built. Instantly, that tells you that man had to work out and destroy himself to get that, which means he's going to have to be somewhat disciplined, if not crazy disciplined, to build that body up, to eat the food that he needs to eat, to be able to consume the nutrients and the mindset to keep pushing that shit forward. And that's what I see when a woman gives me that 3-second stare. She's instantly already starting to get to know me without even talking to me. And yes, that does happen a lot. And I see it happen a lot with me. It's called unspeakable attention. When you give someone attention, you're idealistically just look at them because you want to get closer to them. And the more you get to know that person, the more less likely you're like, okay, my fantasy might be a little wiggle room for like certain things, but showing the physique, that woman's going to fantasize about how strong you are if you're a man. And when you see a girl that's really cute in that, because she was very beautiful in that, I identify seeing her butt ass naked and seeing how nice her boobs look. That's literally what we do. We have our fantasizing moments. But when it comes down to it, we don't know until we actually go through with it. I mean, yeah, showing how big a dude is, yeah, you're obviously going to know he's going to be strong. But showing, like, beauty in that, when a woman starts showing off more of her luxuries, that's when you know. Like, she started putting on more makeup. Say, like, if I see this girl again, and she, like, wears something that shows off her boobs, and then the guy that sits there is trying to like pick her up for the last fucking 6 months or whatever, he's going to might thinking to identify. But if she starts coming in and she starts slowly trying to talk to me and he does a cock block, I'm just saying, not saying this is going to happen, but it's a huge chance that it will. And he comes in trying to like throw in some shit. Like, you know, like it's like a moth to the flame type shit. We're the flame trying to get to know each other if this does come up. And he's like the moth because he just wants fucking attention. Yeah, I would officially just tell him. I know it's going to happen because, you know, when he doesn't get attention from women, he seems like he kind of gets like a little upset about it. I said, well, of course you do. It's because the women that you talk to in that are not actually interested in you, bro. Because they'll see you and they'll look at you as a weak, inferior man because, look, you look like shit. I'm sorry. Anyone that sees a 20-year-old man that's fucking morbidly obese, that triggers to any woman that wants a healthy man of, you know, good stature is going to be like, you lived for 20 years and you're that fat? It's instantly going to pop to them. Unhealthiness, eats like shit, probably smells bad. All these things come up. You're lazy. Well, yeah. If you're eating all day and you're not moving, you consider to be lazy. Your knees hurt already. You have joint issues in that. I understand that, you know, poor eating habits can be a thing, but what the fuck, dude? Are you that, like, that you don't want to, like, communicate healthiness in that towards people? Like, do you not know how to go online and just look stuff up and try to change your diet around? Or maybe just not fucking eat as much? That's one of the things I talked about with him.
Easy. Mr. Sniper in the house.
They're like, bro, you're not that old, and you're already, like, triggering the fucking diabetes fucking 2 ratio. And because of people that say, oh, it's fat being proud. No, it's fat being unhealthy and dying. Like, back then, people were fucking afraid of being fat. If people were fat in that because they ate like shit when they were younger and that, guess what happened in that? I've seen it happen with my own eyes. Seen like fat obese people in fucking high school that end up fucking sitting there dropping a bunch of weight. They look completely different. I knew one guy, I knew him since like elementary school. He's always been kind of a fat porker person. And I can see why, because his mom was kind of like very emotional towards him and that. And so he emotionally eat a lot. And he was fat, and all of a sudden he dropped a bunch of weight. He started getting into fitness. He started working out. He started getting, shredded. I mean, it changed his look, I'll put it a little bit, but, like, I never saw him, being, like, 10% body fat and that. It just didn't look, it looked weird on him. But it was healthy for him to do that. And I was like, yeah, that's a good thing. Okay, time change it up. Get this one. Yeah, we'll go with the little rat-tat-tat. And, like, I was very proud of him in that. He ended up getting a good-looking woman and all stuff and that. He ended up getting married now. I don't know if they're still together or not, because women are fucking weird nowadays. And it was nice. I was really happy for him. Oh, of course. Go away. Dude, fuck off. You motherfuckers sure do like to swarm, man, like a bunch of dicks. Jeez.
I'm a natural.
Damn.
That's cool.
Oh, it's because it's a defend zone thing. That's the reason why. That makes sense.
Angry lumberjack folks. Nailed him.
His heads have broken through. Let's slip the dogs of war. Do you know the biomass needed to create a flesh card? No, of course not. You just like wasting my resources.
But yeah. It's always a common thing for what I was just talking about before. That's always a common thing for humans to try to fight against each other's personalities and that. I'm talking about what happened at work the other day or yesterday. And I was sitting there talking to my friend, and I'm just like, this person always sits there and comments on the things that I do. And I said, the only one that cares enough about commenting on someone is because they have an attraction towards them. I said, that's the only reason why she comments on me. And it's just like, because she's trying to, like, this is how it always goes. She's comparing her man to me. And I said, well, don't compare anyone to anyone. Like, certain things I understand, like, if you like something about me more than your man or whatever the fuck that you're with, then I can understand. Okay, well, she'd probably say, my man doesn't lift weights, so he's not, has muscles like you do. Well, tell your man to lift fucking weights. He'll get muscles like me. Tell your man to start eating better. He'll start dropping weight. Tell your man that's what I'm trying to say is like, you girls that have boyfriends, when you see a man that's attractive and you see that he's single, you keep on wondering why he's single. There's more attractive men being single nowadays than ever. Why? Because most of the attractive women just want dick from men that are attractive. They don't want to fuck a relationship. They don't want something to connect with. They literally walk around and whore themselves out to these men because they look good. And then if that man gets a girlfriend, these women either back off or they can become complete bitches to tear down the relationship because they want that dick again. And yes, this does happen. The percentages of it happen is very low, but it still happens. It still doesn't matter because it's like a hooked on feelings. And I learned this from a woman. She's like, I'm a nympho or whatever. She's addicted to sex. I'm like, everyone's addicted to sex, you dumb bitch. I have to put a fucking ideology on it. Everybody wants to get laid. Who doesn't want to pop a fucking, who doesn't want to, bang a super hot girl and love on her and that? Fuck yeah, everybody wants that kind of idealistic shit. But the thing is, most men want it in a way of romantic. We want to romanticize a woman. It's not like we're going to stick it in her and grab on her hair and frog her fucking ass until she fucking gets that feeling of inertia or that feeling of release. No. It's a long-ass process. If you just want to get off, then get off. But when you're actually willing to want to become intimate with someone, it's a long process. It's not just a 10-minute round of me busting nuts. It's an hour or two of romanticizing, getting the feelings to attach to each other and shit. What's up, bro? And that's what it is. These people want this rush because they think it's a drug. They think it's a movie or something. Even movies take 2 or 3 hours to watch. We have this, what we call a dopamine crisis, where everyone wants an instant release as fast as possible without anything to build it up. But when you have a build-up, and it takes time to get to that high, you start to feel better about what you're doing. That's like lifting weights and getting bigger muscles. There's ways of cheating it. You can go on steroids now, but you'll still take time to gain muscles. You're still going to take, 6 months to build that body up when you do steroids because you heal faster. I'm going through that thing right now with peptides. It's a very slow approach. Can't say it's like steroids, but I've noticed muscle growth. I'm noticing I'm getting slightly bigger with muscles and that. And yeah, I am. I'm slowly starting to, go back to my state where I was when I was like 25 or something like that. I feel a lot stronger. Do I still have the issues of stuff? Like, do I have pain issues in that? Yeah, I still have joint issues in that sometimes in that with my body and that. But like I said, it's a slow approach. And the biggest thing is a lot of people, they want to have no patience with it. Because I've been doing this, it's called Wolverine peptides for basically almost a month now. And the biggest thing that I've seen that's been a difference is my digestive. Because the whole point of these peptides is supposed to heal your tissue up and heal your joints up. And it is a very long process because it's not like it instantly heals you. It helps your body heal more. But you want to regulate that, it's kind of like steroids. Not necessarily. Because I would say my energy levels are not that ridiculously high. If I took like Anavar or something, probably in the first week or so, I would see a huge buildup of energy. I would wake up, be like, I'm energized as fuck. I would feel really good in that. This is more of a very slow approach type of thing, which I think it's more natural. It's like a slight growth. I'm feeling a little bit better each day that I do because I just got done doing it like a couple hours ago. I have to say, it works. People get mad. It's like, what are the side effects? If you don't take a ridiculous amount of it, there's no side effects to anything. If you take the proper dose that you need to take of anything, if you eat a certain amount of food, all this stuff's about how properly you do it. I have to say, like I said, the biggest changes is my digestive has been a lot better. And when you have bad digestiveness, from eating all this processed foods for years like I have and that, and I've had a lot of issues going to the bathroom and that to a certain extent. Of course, it's a vary. It goes from 5 to 10. On average, it's normally, okay. But now it's getting to the point that I'm actually seeing fucking results. And when you're trying to heal yourself in that, it comes down to certain things. Like, I always want to eat things that they're like I eat a lot of noodles. I try to boil my noodles. Everyone boils their noodles, right? When you boil your noodles, they get hot enough to where it starts to, get rid of all the shit that's in it, because it just burns all of it out. That's why if you boil noodles, they always kind of have that gunk at the beginning. It's all that pastry shit, all that coating of skin or whatever it is, the flour and that on it. And it dissipates in the water because it gets so hot, it basically just evaporates it. Yeah. And, I'm seeing results. And not even that I'm seeing that I'm, going to the bathroom better and that. I'd say my muscles are getting slightly more thicker. I'm starting to recover more. Because I exercised the other day, and this is kind of one of the things. I exercised the other day, and I exercised not even that hard. And, the muscle and mind connection was so fucking intense that I didn't even have to really do much. And, my muscles were feeling it. My back, my lats were hurting for, about 3 days. They just start to get healed. And I didn't even do that much. I only did maybe 3 or 4 sets of lats. But the mind and muscle connection was so fucking huge. And I think that's one of the things that these peptides have actually done is they recover my neurological way to get more connected with my muscles. So I've been seeing that a lot lately. I just got done lifting weights and that. And I didn't take any pre-workout actually before I did it. I just start taking it a little bit in between it, but it wasn't digested all the way yet. And I've been noticing a massive fucking pump. I did 20 pounds. I call it the rotating curl. You know how Arnold used to do. You have it at a hammer and you rotate it up. And I was sitting there with 20 pounds in each arm and I was doing those curls. And it felt amazing. And I got a massive pump in my bicep and that, and I only did 2 sets of it. And my muscles start burning, and then I just kind of stopped. Because I don't like to overdo it, because I got to work in that. I don't want to have sore-ass muscles at work, so I do enough just to get it to where it's going to build a little bit. Huge connection. So I suggest, I know a lot of people want to sit there. If you're young in that, I understand you shouldn't be taking anything. I see these kids online that they're on gear and all these peptides and shit. And I'm just like, dude, you guys are young. You know how fast young people build muscle? Very quickly. You just don't have to work out so damn hard. Just work out enough, just get the muscles to burn, and then sleep on it. And then if you do that for a year or two, you're going to start seeing your gains. I know people want to take creatine. You can take your creatine that. It does help a little bit in muscle building that. It helps very little, but it does help. If you continuously do it, it'll help get you your gains slightly faster. But if you're someone that's in his mid-20s or late 20s, early 30s and that, and you're trying to jump on this bandwagon, you're going to have to get supplements that are going to help you out. And sometimes, the energy's just not there. And I'm being upfront with you. Sometimes the energy's just not there. Sometimes you wake up and you're just not willing to want to fucking move. You don't feel like moving. You're just I'm tired. Well, your body's not recovering good enough. That's why young people recover faster, because they get better sleep. The ideas in their head are very small. They just think about what they're doing in the day and how happy they are to run around and with their heads cut off. I think the older you get, the more you start to think, and you start to think too much. It's time to just release that kind of thing. It's okay, set up your day, go through your day, and be done with it. Don't try to set up weeks in advance. People like to say that, well, when you're an adult, you're supposed to do that. No, you're not. That's stupid, because every day is a new day. You can do the similar things. I go to work today. I went to work yesterday. I can prep myself for work. But doesn't mean I'm going to prep myself for every single day that I work. Because a lot of the stuff, it's all the same. So I kind of already have it in my mind. I don't worry about it. I was like, okay, whatever. Now, do I talk about the things that happen at work that are kind of out of nowhere? Yeah, because I don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, I walked into work yesterday and had one of the ladies there. She's always a bitch in general. She was complaining about something. And she blamed it all on me. And I'm just like, well, thinking about something. Well, if you're not strong enough to take something out, then you have to ask someone to fucking do it for you. So that's what it is. I put stuff on the top shelf because there was no room for it. And I'm like, I'm doing trucking. It's at the end of my day. I'm awfully tired. You know, doing trucking. A lot of the stuff can weigh up to like 60 pounds because I deal with like liquid syrups and that. So they end up weighing more than what they're supposed to because they move around a lot. So it's kind of weird. Kind of awkward to carry. And I put up all this stuff in that. And they're always complaining about something. I said, why don't you teach your workers how to read labels? Why don't you teach your workers to not be fucking stupid and do something that, you know, they can't do. And then they sit there and do it. And they get hurt. And they want you to blame it on someone else. And I say like this. If you do something, you are at fault. If you blame someone else, that means you're a fucking idiot. Maybe you shouldn't be a fucking idiot. Maybe you should know your limitations. Yes, I'm strong as fuck. I can pick up a good amount of weight and throw stuff around because I'm strong. If you're weak, get help. You know, and this is a thin woman, probably barely 120 something pounds. She's trying to get something down. And it was cup holders. They don't weigh that much. Maybe to her they weigh a lot, but to me it's like maybe 20 pounds. And she's sitting there complaining to me when I came in. I quote, this is what she said. I have nothing against this person. She's just always a bitch. She's, you know. As soon as I walked in she's like, hey, you know I almost slipped and fell. Because of where you put it at. I said, so, 2 statements there. You personally, because you're weak, have almost fell because of the position that I put it at. And I said, well, okay. Well, why did you try to do it then if you know you couldn't do it? And I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't care what you have to say, bitch. Like, you don't do nothing. You're just there. You're a service person. You do good at your job. But you have the easiest job in the fucking world. Because you don't have much pressure on you other than getting sodas out and giving out fucking change. And maybe deal with some customers here and there. You're not the main person that's in the heart of the place trying to get shit done. So just stop getting on your high horse. Because you're less important, at least in a job sense, than I am. Because I do multiple things while you only do one. You do the bare minimum of what you can do. And you want to glorify yourself when you do those things. And you want to say, well, no one else does it as good as I do. I say, well, actually, everybody does it the same. Which makes you an average worker. Everyone else does your job. Every single service person does your job. I'm just going to put a point out there. When you do the same job as everybody else, you want to assume that you're on a higher totem pole than someone else, just because you might think that you do. It's like, I see people do it all the time. I'm like, what are you trying to say? I've done your job before. You know, this person likes to sweep in that. Like I said, nothing against her, but it's like the point of view that I'm trying to bring up is that why are you saying such negative things towards someone that you're working with? You could have been a little bit more polite with it. Because you felt bad because you're fucking stupid, and you try to do something that you know you couldn't do, so you have to have someone to blame on other than yourself. That's why you do that. Oh, it's your fault. Like, I wasn't even here. That's the thing. I'm not even here. And there's so much shit, and there's only so much crap I can put in the bottom shelf. Because some of these bigger boxes that can't fit on the bottom shelf. And there's so much crap that we get. I'm like, well, maybe tell the truck person that gets all this crap from the truck. You know, maybe not order so much shit so I have places to put stuff at. That could be one thing. That could be something I can bitch about. But you know what? It doesn't come down to that. Because if it's my fault, it's my fault. If I fall because I'm being stupid, it's my fault I fell. I'll blame it on everything else. And that's basically what I was talking about in that. And, you know, when she said that stuff and that, I walked away. I went out. And one of the men came out. I'm like, damn, like, as soon as I come in here, someone's always bitching at me. And I walked away. I had my phone on. And I was talking to my friend. And, yeah, I was talking about it with him and that. And he was kind of saying the same thing about people that he used to work with. And he's like, yeah, I dealt with that same shit and that. Like, people think they're high horses and that. And you know what the fence is? They're always fucking women. They're always women. Women are always trying to have this power hierarchy thing because they have a job. Like, I have a job like you men, but I have higher standards. I'm sure you do, honey, but the thing is you do less work. You have lower standards at work that you think that you're so high on because you could pick up a fucking piece of paper and throw it away. Because you could sweep like everybody else. Because you could cash out people like everybody else. Because you could sit there and do all this stuff like everybody else. That doesn't prove that you're higher up. It proves that you're just as average as everybody else. When you exceed to do more than everybody else, then maybe your life would be more, I can't say be more lovely. You can start bragging about yourself a little bit. Because that's what I do. If I get in a situation that, I tell people, I'll just fucking leave. I'll just walk out right now. I'll just go home. You're not going to fire me. You're going to get mad at me. I'm like, well, then don't be a bitch towards me. Don't control. If you want to critique me, critique me. But the thing of it is, if you're not critiquing everybody else the same way that you're critiquing me, then guess what? You can go fuck yourself completely. If this person has a massive attitude and you don't correct it and I get in trouble by doing something stupidly small and I get kind of bashed for it, I'm like, how about you critique the dumb bitch that constantly argues with people? Why don't you critique the people? Of course, they're women. It's always the fucking women that I work with. The ones that have attitude, keep the attitude because everyone's scared of them. I mean, fuck that dumb bitch. Go up to her and like, hey, you get the attitude again, you're getting the fuck out of here. As soon as that notion comes in that they lose control of everything, which is what's going on, they think they control everything, they either say, I'm sorry, I'll move on, I'm sorry about that, I need to start working on myself, or they sit there and be like, you don't tell me what to do. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what to do right now. Get the fuck out of here because you're clocked out. Bye. And then as they try to think, you need me, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, no we don't. We don't need you. You're just useful for right now. Because that's literally what happened with one of the girls I worked with. Instead of complying with the little bits of rules that they have as a company, which are simple as rules a preschooler can fucking follow, this person decided to rampage and thinking that if I leave, this whole company is going to die. And I'm like, honey, you just got replaced instantly as soon as you left. And we've been running a better crew because of the person that replaced you. So don't ever say that you're unstoppable, that, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you got nothing to brag for because you're a terrible fucking worker. Like me, I'm a good worker. I can brag about I can brag about things that I do. I say, what would you guys do without me? You know, what if you guys never hired me? Well, if you guys sit there and, you know, you say, well, we don't want to hire you because you used to work here before, and, you know, we don't think that you were good back then. You guys would have been crashing. You guys would have been working even harder now because you didn't have me, and nothing would have changed in this place. Because I said I was the reason why these people left. I was the reason why that this place is changing to be a better place. And the only reason why is that it's not because of me altogether. It's more or less likely because of who I am. I say it is because of me, but it's like the personality of me. I stay in charge and tell the truth about what the fuck's going on, while everybody else hides their bullshit. They hide in the corner scared of the little people that sit there and they're like, and they think they can cover up, and they cover up their bullshit and that. I said, well, and these people, it's only these two people in that. This is the one. Doesn't want me to become manager because if I get authority in that, I can boss her around. And she hates the idea that, actually, I don't think she does because she probably wants me to get with her or some stupid shit like that because, God forbid, these women are so fucking weird. And I heard that stuff. And before the other chick left, the one I was talking about that ended up leaving a little bit in that, when I first started working there, she made up excuses about me getting promoted. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself now, like, why do you make up excuses about me getting promoted? Well, because you're a tyrant of a feminist woman and you don't want to see a man gain power because you think that if man gains power, he's going to start being egotistic and all that shit. But when you look at what you're doing as a manager, you are an egotistic. I don't think people really understand when they say things, that's what they are. People always want to say that I have an ego because I talk about how good I am and that. Yeah, I'm proud of who I fucking am. You're damn right I am, motherfucker. If you don't like it, you can go fuck yourself. Because you're doing the same thing I'm doing, but you don't express it. And you normally do a lot more than I do. Because we got in discussion. Dude, this shit is wild. I love being a psychology fucking researcher. This shit is wild how people are. So one of the guys I work with, that cool ass dude, he's gay. Cool ass dude. Like, I have no problem with him now. But he doesn't understand that his words mean something. Because he'll talk, and he'll be kind of like, he'll talk a little ignorant towards people. And I don't think that he understands that he does it. He'll say stuff in that. I'm like, dude, it's like, why do you say stuff like that? Why do you just explode with random fucking, like, thoughts? You call people weird all the time and saying, like, the way people talk and that, it's like, well, that's fucking weird. You should, it's like, it's the same thing. And I said, well, the only reason why some people you don't critique, and he does it towards me a little bit, but not as much as he used to. And I was saying, like, who gives you the right to tell someone how to speak? Well, it's not proper. I'm like, what's proper? They start to think, like, this ain't the Victorian ages of life. This ain't castle ages. You're not a fucking prince or princess because you're gay. This ain't a fucking royal fucking Taco Bell, bro. I say that to anyone that speaks this way. And he doesn't do that much, but the little, bitchy one always does it. What kind of authority do you throw yourself in to think that you could control things in other people's lives? You have no authority. If you do grant yourself authority, then you're just fucking stupid. Borderline retarded. I understand people do that sometimes. I used to do it when I was younger a little bit because I was trying to understand things. Like, well, why do you talk like that? I don't get it. It's weird. Which means, the word weird means you don't know why. That's what the word weird actually means. It means you can't comprehend it at that time. But some people take that to heart. And I understand it because I do it a little bit too. I'm just like, it's like, why do you keep saying weird? Weird is the most uncomfortable word to say to someone. It's just like you're making them look like that they're like indifferent, that people shouldn't like them kind of shit. And then when you reverse it and you start putting it on them, it's like, oh, you're just fucking stupid. You just can't comprehend why people do things because you set your ways to be a specific way. And I get that. But the real world is literally a very diverse of freaking personas, basically, of personalities and that, and talking points. Not everyone's going to talk the same. Not everyone's going to think the same. Not everyone's going to do the same thing. And that's what it comes down to. And the more and more people want to think that it's a specific way in that's because you live in a world that's really small. You live in a teeny tiny world. I say you don't get out a lot by yourself. You don't try to go out into the wilderness, which is basically just going outside your house and walk around and saying, like, going to a restaurant by yourself. And you start, like, looking at things. You start conversating with things. These are the people that are scared to talk to people in person. Like, they're super shy. I said, well, that's the problem right there. You're thinking of all this shit that's not true because you haven't experienced it yet. I say it's me that I've always been like that. Now I go out to a restaurant now. I go out to this place now. They always see me now. The guys would sit there and want to like compliment me sometimes, saying how big my arms are now. They want to see the girls googly eye me because I'm a rather thick, somewhat tone of a man. And you get out there, you show yourself, and then the world kind of bends to who you are. But if you go out into the reality without being fully prepared and people start seeing you for being a piece of shit person, it ricochets. So when you go to work and you get customers that come in and you're acting like a fucking bitch, those customers know other people and they're going to comment on what you do. And everybody's going to sit there and point at you for being the dumb fuck that you are. And the more and more people that start painting that picture of you being a fucking idiot, the more less likely chances of you to reverse that when you actually get more grown up. So you have to be really careful showing a lot of people things. I can stream, but only like a couple people watch me. But when it's like in the real world, when I get hundreds of people that come in, they see me, my crew working. And for the people that I personally do talk to with confidence and with love and care, they're going to remember me as that loving, caring person. And immediately, because I'd done this before when I was at my other job at Zips, they would instantly want to say, why aren't you the GM of this place? Why aren't you higher up on your position in that? Because it seems like you're handling it all anyway. I'm like, well, yeah. But the thing of it is, it's always a moron that takes the higher up positions. Because they know damn well that they're just position holding. Now, I'm not saying that with the job that I have now. No. I think my GM does a good job in that. The only problem of it is that she has to constantly correct people that are the sobbing fucking, attitude issue ones. And she's letting them go for such a long time until someone actually says something. And I would say it's like, when it comes down to that, if you can't handle it, which I completely understand, because, my GM is a woman, and when you're dealing with other women, especially ones that you've known for a while, you get emotionally attached to them. Not saying that you don't tell them the truth, but they weigh themselves out of it by kissing your ass. And I like kissing ass. They call them brown nosers for a reason. I said, well, just to be fair, Nat, we should have a correspondent meeting and talk about everybody's line of work. For the people that have been there long enough, to critique them, have a critique session. It's like school. Have people come early in the morning, Nat, or whatever it is, if they can. And probably not the overnighters, because the overnighters are the ones that are probably, the most, non-critiquable people because they do their jobs. They work with less people. But even still, call them up and send them a fucking message. Say, hey, no, I'm going to call you and talk to you and talk about the stuff, Go through that. Start critiquing your employees. Because you don't critique your employees, they run around being half-ass workers, then that goes on you as a person of leadership. And that's the one thing that if I was in the position that I would officially come up and talk to people in person and say, hey, I want to talk to you. And they're instantly going to shit their fucking britches and be like, about what? I'd be like, well, we're going to go through a critique session about what you do bad and what you do good. And you go through it. It's like, I'm going to say something negative, I'm going to say something positive. It's just basically how it goes, and with a positive note. And go down. If I talk to that one lady and that, I'd be like, or the one young lady, I'd be like, your attitude is a problem. You feel like you get very frustrated with people and that, and you're always saying snarky stuff, and you think people don't hear you. Yes, customers hear you. And yes, I do talk to the customers that come in here. And yes, I have them rate my employees because they are the consumer, and I want to know if people are acting up. That's the first thing I would do. I would ask customers You know, like, hey, it's like, how you like it hearing that about our employees, and do you have any discretion about our employees? And I did it once with one of the door dashers that came in, and I knew the dude too, because we used to we went to school together or whatever the fuck it was. And he was somebody saying, yeah, that one chick and that they always talk about the two same people. It's like, yeah, they're very ignorant in that, and I'm like, yeah, I understand, they're just being bitches. Like, yeah, we have a problem with that, and we've been trying to management's been trying to deal with them that, but they keep on seeing the react they're getting better with it, but they seem to do it still. And it's like, yeah, it's called critiquing. No, these people are always saying oh, I'm gonna I don't care if I lose my job and that. And I say, well, no, you kind of do, because you're not a person. If you're not a person, you can't deal with people. No one's gonna fucking hire you. You know that, right? They're going to look at you as a fucking idiot. That's why it took me a while to get my job going. That's why I got the job at Zips. I built my foundation at Zips. I saw hundreds of people in my area that know me now. And every time I see them, I wave at them, I knuckle bash them, and they always tell me, you were such a good worker there. And they start give me a little bit of praise. And I was like, well, I did what I had to do. It's not, it's the job. If no one else can do it, then I have to, then it has to be done. And so I kind of lived my life like that ever since those couple years in that. It's my first job I ever got promoted in. So I start to grow from that. Actually, we're going to do a new level and probably get... Yeah, I like this way more than 3. But that's the idea that I put in my head. Yeah, I like Moonbase. We'll do the Outpost because the new one's coming out. We'll do the Fire Bat in the Outpost. It sounds fun. Oh. Okay.
Reminds me of
Don't get too comfy. I've got more Zeds just waiting.
Come on. Keep coming. I can do this all day. See ya. Time to make those big bucks. Suck on fire.
The resupply pod is open. Spend your dust.
But yeah, it's just little things, and I've always wanted to be a leader of some sort in that because I have, I like to look at things from various perspectives.
If this place wasn't infested.
And I try to be really good at picking out, who's going to be the best at it. Who's going to be best at, something. So a good leader is. A good leader knows a little bit about everything, but he can pick people that are highly advanced in certain things. I sold the wrong one. Whoops. That's okay.
I've got the feeling we're not alone. Bye-bye.
Don't break your arm patting yourself on the back.
And stay out of my water. Yo!
I love when they fight each other.
Finish it off.
That's so funny.
Buckle up, folks. Keep up.
Go to the bar, buy things. Not that it will matter. You'll still die.
Little bitch ass knife.
Reminds me of Christmas by the lake.
The trainer pod design is not terrible. Horsey did okay with this.
Yeah, and we get the Maggie. I like the Maggie a lot. Little bullet hose.
That's good stuff right there.
Wave 3.
Siren in the house. And stay out of my world. Suck on fire. Ah! 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 Got anything else to say? You won't. Take them down. Model of efficiency. Something's here. Might be cloaked. Suck on fire. Ah. Yep. You won't like this. Something's here. Might be close.
The resupply pod is open. Spend your dosh and shut up. You lived. I'm not impressed. I'm disgusted.
Yeah, I think this whole like last 10 years or something like that has been like a political like retarded thing where everyone's going against like the righteous way of thinking and that where people don't want to express themselves when they sit there and want to like
Nothing could smell that bad.
explain it like this. And I have to talk about this because it's gonna be kind of interesting. Like, so the way I look at things, why is there so much discord nowadays? You got people that are trying to change the rules of life based upon really stupid fucking things. And the way I think about it is that when people are trying to fight against the stupidity of people, and like they'll say something about someone that's not true, and they'll try to think that it's true, and it's just like, no. Because that's what happened at work, and I know it's the same fucking woman. She sits there, she'll get mad at me, so behind my back, she'll say a whole bunch of fucking slurs towards me. Which I mean are just like, she'll say stuff that's like not true, and she'll constantly just like regurgitate that same point because she's mad over absolutely nothing. And I'm just like, she was like explaining that she's like, oh yeah, I was at a psychiatric ward and all that shit. I'm like, why the fuck are you at a psychiatric ward? I'm like you're not even old enough to like barely know anything. Like, they tried to put me on medicine and all that stuff. It said all this stuff, and then I'm like, so you're mentally fucking insane, and they hired you? Like, why the fuck are you hiring people that are mentally insane? Well, they need jobs too. Yeah, they could work at a sit-down factory where they could deal with fucking stuff and that's fine. But when you're working in customer service, you got to deal with people. And if you are psychologically uncomfortable, as in you just don't know how to deal with people, why the fuck would you hire them? Like, these people brag about this shit. I'm like, they're fucking retarded. Like, I admit, I used to think everyone was talking about me and all that shit and that when I was younger and that. But, like, when it came down to it, That's because I lived a backwards life. And I admit, you know, when I was her age, that, you know, I mean, I wasn't as bad as she was. Like, she likes to drink and smoke weed and shit, so she's completely different to me. But I can see the similarity of personality in that. And not to say that this person's completely wrong at what she's doing, because you're not wrong with something that you don't know. I mean, if it's right to you at that moment, then it's going to be, okay, it's right to me. That's what it comes down to teaching. I think people that teach their children certain things when they're younger, they might rebel against you. Like, my parents always taught me not to do drugs and not drinking, so I don't drink and I don't do drugs. I've always been like that. You know, my parents always try to say you need to be polite and that to people, not until they're not polite to you. So you respect people up front. If they respect you back, then you consider that a respectful like notion between you two. But if someone disrespects you, you're trying to respect them, then it's time to go a little bit on the offensive side, and if they keep doing it, you tell them to fuck off. Like, hey, shut the fuck up before you get slapped in the fucking face. Because you're saying shit that's not true, and you're just making up crap now. And these people will probably go into fight or flight mode, and they'll either run away or they'll try to get in fights with you because they know that they're wrong. I'm like, I wish you get in a fight with me. I'll slap your shit all over the place. And everyone's gonna hate on it because like, oh, no, I hit. If I just slap an improper woman because she's a fucking disgusting twat waffle towards me, yeah, yeah. You should know the boundaries. You should know. Like, I get women that are like half my size saying they could beat me up and shit. I'm like, how? What do you do? Well, I know martial arts. Okay, well, how much you bench? I'm like 50 pounds. Okay, so I'm 6 times stronger than you. And they get that look like, oh, well, and my fancies and that, I just do Black Widow moves and that. Yeah, the woman that plays Black Widow, I beat her ass. None of these women are fucking remotely even strong. They're playing a part of being strong. And you're watching a fake fucking movie. And that's literally how these women think. They think they're like Black Widow. They'll train themselves in combat with other women. But when they face a man, the man actually gives them leeway. No, stop giving these women leeway because you're giving them power that they don't deserve. You see, if it's a real life situation, what are you gonna do if a man tries to run after you and tries to get you? We made stuff for that. We made mace, we made tasers and that. We made this side of things so it gives women the edge. It's unlethal, but it works. You know, women always will go through, I'm gonna kick them in the balls and that. The balls are very small. And honestly most men know if you're gonna sit there like a fucking idiot and try to kick a guy in the balls, and I almost got kicked in the balls, and all I did was put my leg over my other leg. And I protected my nuts. And these women, obviously, this woman that did it was just being a fucking bitch because she was emotionally determined because I was speaking the truth, and she got mad at me. I'm like, well, and then she started to get offensive. Yeah, get offensive. I'll fucking just smack you in the fucking face. Like, who the fuck are you to do that stupid ass shit? Now, when men say, oh, you should never hit women, no, you should never hit women that don't disrespect you. You hit women that you want to go to the point of when you don't want to hit them. You go into the point, you talk to them first. If a woman disrespects a man, especially a man that is, you know, stronger than them, that has, how I say, like a higher stature than them and that, yeah, that man deserves respect. If he's not harmful to anybody else, but you're trying to get him to be angry at you because you want fucking that attention, because you're probably like a Rihanna, you probably like getting hit and shit when you're getting fucked. Yeah, I say that shit because I know a lot of women that are like that. And they go down that road a lot. And these women want to believe that they're hot shit because they haven't been disciplined yet. But if someone does discipline them, they get really fucking cold feet. And they're like, oh, why'd you have to do that? I thought men weren't supposed to do this. Like, yeah, I thought women weren't supposed to be disrespectful towards a man that's 6 times stronger than you. And matter of fact, like this woman I'm talking about that's kind of like ignorant towards me, I'm probably like 30 times stronger than her. And I'm going by how much I lift compared to how much she lifts. She probably bench presses maybe like 25 pounds. I bench press like 220 on an average. My max bench is like 315 to 320. So if you counteract how much that is, so her 20 pounds is like my 225. Probably even less. So we put in perspective, that's what? That's 10 times, 11 times stronger. 11 times stronger. So what would happen? Exactly the point. Like, why would you do that? Why would you? Because it happened multiple times. And, like, Cynthia, you want me to be angry because you like me when I'm angry. Well, you're never angry. I like you when you're angry type shit. Yeah, because you get a fancy, you get off on it. You get off on a man fucking doing all that stuff. And yeah, how about you keep your fucking wet dreams to yourself, honey, and keep your shit as far away from people as you can because you're kind of a weirdo and a freak. That's what we call a freak of nature. Yeah, I get going to work in that. You go take my dump. Yeah, watch out for people like that. When people got this weird fancy shit going on, I would, if you could find out, I would stay away from it because it's just so much stupid.
that you just have a person who's throwing a bunch of buzzwords at it